I've been running an online agency for some 3.5 years now. Honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm still at square one. It sucks as a feeling, trust me. Sometimes I feel like I tread water, and objectively, I can recognize that I have made progress. I'm not where I started. I make a lot more money than when I started, but still I feel like I want more and I feel lost. I don't get the answers that I want. It's a frustrating feeling to live with. But if there's one thing that I've learned in business, it's like, this is the path that you are signing up for. Back in February, I did this trip to Scotland, Scottish mountains. They're called the Cairngorm. And I went with a bunch of friends. They're mostly in university. They're not business people. Some are interested in tech, like business, but they're not fundamentally entrepreneurs. Completely different crowd. They do mountaineering actually pretty often. This was my first time doing any kind of climbing or mountaineering and stuff like that. I wasn't doing anything insane, but it was a bunch of pretty steep hikes and mountains. And it's not just walking up a hill. You're on all fours with an ice axe climbing up this massive thing. We get there and the first day is like just kind of, it's very easy. It's just, you walk until the camping spot, you lay out your stuff, and then you start climbing. You start to see it gets pretty hard, and one day goes by, you climb the easier peaks, and it was just a weekend trip. On the last day, we decided to summit the tallest mountain there, which isn't all that tall. We decided to climb up the steepest face. So that is the steepest side of the mountain, which is basically the fastest route to the top as well. You start going up this thing and it's like the normal hike, the same as the day before. And then at some point you start realizing that you are climbing up a fucking wall. The thing is like 50 degrees. If you stand up too straight, you will fall back probably to your death. At this point, you're walking with a 20-kilo pack on. And if you fall backwards, it's very hard to flip back over. It's pretty terrifying at some point because you're really high up and you're climbing up literally a wall of snow/ice. It gets really fucking hard. You're climbing up and this wall literally seems never ending. Like you look up and there's no end to this. It just goes on. Every time you feel like you reach the end, there's a slight bump, and so you can't see over the bump and you're like, oh, it's just there. And you reach there and you look up and there's just more ice and more snow and it's not done. There's no faster way. There's no road, there's no bike, there's no elevator, there's no stairs. There's you, one ice axe, a 20-kilo pack on your back, and your boots with some crampons if you're lucky. And basically the only way you get there is one step at a time. I started to draw this parallel and just realized that there's no other way. It's just one slow step at a time. Like that's really it. Even in that really, really shit moment, looking at the mountain, at the top of the mountain, it's not gonna get you there. Planning a path or, planning where exactly you're gonna put your feet, it's not gonna get you there. Looking to the side, looking to your friend who's also dying and out of breath, that's not gonna get you there any faster. There's just no way around it. The only thing that moves you forward is one more step. Like the only thing is you picking up your boot and moving it up and trying to like take one more step up and one more step up. The wall of ice seems completely fucking endless. You can't see the top and it's still there. It feels like you haven't moved. But the truth is, if you look up every once in a while, the view gets pretty good. You actually have made it up a little bit of the mountain. At the end of the day, like this isn't news to me. This isn't something I didn't know before. One step at a time. It's not news. It was really a reminder of what I already knew. Whenever you have a goal, you're walking towards something. You're walking towards some kind of peak, some kind of destination. If you set a goal, you set a goalpost somewhere and you're walking there slowly. The thing about this is like, at the end of the day, the action is your own. You own it. When I came back from Scotland, I really held this image of me. Like I really remember that feeling of being there and standing there. And sometimes you stop to take a break because you're tired. You're really tired. And during that break, you don't move forward. Like every single break, it stops and you won't make progress. And so if you want to see progress, the only thing you can do is just take one more step. And it feels tiny and it doesn't feel like much. The thing is, when you stare at the ground, the ice underneath you doesn't change color. You can't tell that you're higher. If you look at your feet, they look the same. It's really boring actually, because it feels like nothing's changing. It feels like, man, I've been doing this for 45 minutes. I'm dying and out of breath and tired and everything sucks. Nothing feels like it's changing, but it is. This is something that if you're in business is a lesson that's really worthwhile to learn, because basically you will feel like this more than once. As much as everybody online paints it to be a much rosier picture than it is, anybody who's done it big, and I promise you, just look at them, anybody who's been in the game and you look up to, if you look up to them, just look how many years they've been doing it. Chances are they've been hiking that mountain for a fucking while, longer than you have. And so if you want to be like them, you have to be willing to put in the work to be like them as well. And that means putting one foot in front of the other every single day. That's hard. And that's the price they paid. And that's the price you have to pay as well if you want to do the same thing. The steps are just trying. The steps are just making it your priority when you wake up. The steps are thinking of an assumption, testing it, getting it wrong. The step is trying. The step is making mistakes. When I started this business, to be honest, I spent a lot of time not making it a priority enough, because making it a priority meant failing a lot. And that really sucks, because basically taking steps is trying things and learning and failing. And so What happens is you test a bunch of offers and they don't work. You build shit and it doesn't work. You make videos and they don't go anywhere. Like, that's the game you're playing. This is what it means to start a business. This is what it means to figure stuff out. It means that you fail. That is a step. Even though the ground beneath you looks the same, you took one step forward. Eventually, like, you will be rewarded with the view. There are times when the sky gets covered up and it gets foggy and you can't see anything, but you know the direction is up. That's really it. This is such a powerful lesson that I wish I could have given myself earlier, because I've been doing this business for 3 years. But before that, I tried loads of different businesses and I kept changing and I kept trying all these different things. The truth is, you just have to stick to something and just keep going. There is nothing that will stop you from reaching where you want to be if you're willing to continually put one foot in front of the other for as long as it takes. If there's absolutely nothing that stops you from just putting one foot in front of the other, whether it's 3 years, 5, 10, or 15, you will get there eventually. And if you have this mentality, you'll probably get there far faster than the guy who's trying to do it in 1 year. I was the guy who tried to do it in 1 year, and I never did it in 1 year. And then I became the guy who's willing to do whatever it takes, however many steps. Listen, I've been recording a video and posting every day for about 1.5 years, coming up on 1.5 years, or like over a year. Man, many videos suck. Most of them suck. They still do now. But I changed from the guy who's trying to rush to do it in a year to the guy who's willing to put fucking 15 years into this if that's what it takes. With that mentality, man, it helped me so much, because I get a lot more peace of mind because I know it'll happen eventually. But it is hard. There are moments, man, when you look and you're like, I feel like I'm still at square one. Why do I still feel like this? Like, sure, I have a little bit more money, but it's not the money that I wanted. It's not as big as I wanted. I wanted more. I'm not at the mountain peak. This is not the peak yet. The truth is, there are more peaks to climb. When you get to the top, there's more. You're in it for the long run if you want to build a big thing. And just keep in mind, all you need to do is put one foot in front of the other. Keep making that mistake and just make it your priority to try to solve the constraint. Try to do more marketing and get it wrong. Try different lead channels and then figure out that you just need to do one, and then try to do that one, and then you can't figure out your customer, and then try to figure out an offer and try to sell the offer and sell the wrong one, and then come up with a new one and a new one and a new one. And if it takes you 50 damn offers, then so be it. That is what it means to put one foot in front of the other. And sometimes it is suffering and not feeling any change. And that's just part of the game. That is really part of the game. If you want to get into this, that's what you're signing up for. I want to wrap this video up with 2 things. Firstly, sometimes you're going to feel like you're at square one. But the truth is, if you look up a little bit, you're not at square one. You've got more lessons than you started with. And secondly, honestly, man, this game it really is a game of snakes and ladders. There are snakes, there are ladders. You will fall down a snake every once in a while. You feel like you're falling down, but the truth is there are more ladders than snakes in it as well. And eventually, if you keep going for long enough, you hit a ladder, eventually things work out. I can say this to my past self that was in my first year of business, did something like 20 grand. It was really not much. Now I do multiples more than that. And so it really was just a game of like sticking to it. And I know that things improve, but also I'm still not 7 figures or anything like that. But I know for a fact from looking at others, man, eventually things work. Life's a game of snakes and ladders. And don't worry, just get comfortable in square one, because you'll be there an awful lot. But at the same time, eventually you'll get out if you're willing to stick to it for however long it takes. If you have that mentality, I think you're pretty unbeatable. I really, really respect that. And I took too long to adopt it myself. I wish I could have adopted it earlier. I was too impatient. I wanted everything now and fast and easy. And the truth is, everything is in the difficult, small steps. Comment any questions you have. That's a wrap.